Welcome to That One Gaming Show, where it's so good we have to record it twice.
Twice. No, it's not.
But we double checked this time.
And it works.
If you can hear it, that means we can hear it, and we get it right. I think it is too. I really hope it works. I'm not doing this again.
I'm Cam, the console guy, dude, Jenkins.
What? I'm Brandon. I'm disappointed.
Mostly because you still don't have a name.
Yeah, I still don't have a cool
PC
nickname.
Master Race Player Gamer of the... You don't give him a name. That's what you should do. You should comment a name for him.
I feel like this is going to end badly.
Very bad. Very bad. But still...
Anyways, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and yeah, here we go. For the first segment, we're going to discuss the current games we're playing. I'm currently playing Dying Light.
I am also currently playing Dying Light.
Let's talk about that.
I'm playing it on Xbox One because I Cam console guy, you know. Gotta stick true to that console gaming. You know, I like the game a lot from what I'm playing so far. First person throws me off a little bit.
Get over
it. Because it does have that Assassin's Creed feel. But other than that, I don't think it's a bad game at all. I think that so far I'm liking everything from it. Your weapons break.
That's frustrating.
Just like if you hit 50 zombies over and over with a wrench, it's probably not going to be that same wrench. So that definitely is a little frustrating, but I've picked up way too many weapons to carry already anyway, so...
Are they all pipes?
A lot of them are pipes.
Yeah, they're like all pipes.
A lot of them are pipes. How about you? You're playing it on the PC there.
On the PC.
How much...
Beautiful PC.
How much different is it? You've seen me play it on the one, so how much different?
Like, graphics-wise, it's not a whole lot different. I do feel like I have a little more control. Same as I have a mouse and a full keyboard at my disposal.
You have a second analog stick.
I have numbers to change to 4 different weapons.
I have the D-pad for that, so I don't see or the arrow pad, I guess. I don't know what we call those D-pads, but the D-pad is C-pad.
It's a directional pad.
Okay, so
the hell is a C-pad?
That's the commands pad, I think, is what it used to be called. I don't know, control pad. You know, I haven't played with D-pads, C-pads, all that since, like, 64. When the last time I actually called them that. Does it feel, graphics-wise?
Graphics-wise, I feel like it looks about the same. I've only played like an hour, like 3 hours of it, so.
Yeah, I've played it for about an hour. Hour and a half.
It's glitchy as all hell on PC.
It's
very poorly optimized.
Is that just based off of what your computer can handle from it,
No,
or
everyone's having
these problems?
My computer can handle anything.
Well,
anything. As far as
it's a good thing we don't live in like Wyoming.
As far as graphics go, my computer can handle anything.
Oh, that's good. So your computer, it's not the problem with the computer, it's the problem with just the game itself.
Yeah.
How many?
But they have come out with a ton of patches since. I still have to have the view distance off, but
have the patches seemed to help?
Yeah.
So it's not Assassin's Creed Unity Day 1 patch that still didn't fix it?
No. Yeah, it's better.
Okay, so it's better than that.
So you playing any other games?
I'm currently still playing NHL 15, just because it's fun to throw gloves down and punch somebody in the face with a really bad player, or a player that's really bad at fighting, I should say, or somebody that's really good and you knock them out in one punch. I have that video and we'll post it on the whatchamacallit.
He's really excited about
the YouTubes
video.
and
really
on this channel as well.
We have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, you can post it on both channels.
You have another YouTube channel?
No, not my YouTube channel. I have my own YouTube channel, but I don't have... I've had that for a while.
I need to go.
I have like a cat video on
the
there,
cat
so let's... Other than that, I've been playing
A shitload of Destiny.
Destiny, which we'll get to a little bit later.
Pokemon!
I've been back to playing Pokemon, because throwbacks every now and then with those throwback games. Also something we will be talking about here. How about you? You been playing anything?
I've been playing Resident Evil Remastered.
Is it remastered, or is it slightly remastered? Like, is a lot of it changed?
A ton of it has changed.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just Silent Hill remastered. That
No.
doesn't seem like anything changed, except tweaked a little graphics.
The
here and
graphics are like 10 times better than what they were, which is cool.
So now you were telling me before on podcast 1 that kind of slipped away.
It was his fault. He didn't remind me.
Chris
Steroid
Freak Redfield
You can play as Steroid Chris.
is back in this game, as well as normal Chris,
Yep.
regular.
Yeah, you can.
Old
You have the
school
choice.
Is it the choice, like in other games where we've seen remastered, where you hit a button and it just reverts back to old graphics?
No.
Or is he actually still remastered as...
It's still remastered.
Okay, well that's good.
It's all remastered.
That's good.
Yeah. Alright.
How about anything else there other than the Resident...
Not really.
The Res
They
Evil?
play a shitload of Minecraft all the time.
Lots of the crafting of the mines.
Oh, yeah. Ton of Minecraft.
You did make a... Was it a server
Tekkit
or
server?
a Tekkit? You made a
I
Tekkit
did
server
make a
for
Tekkit
Minecraft.
server. And if you're interested in playing on that, send us an email. I'm always looking for more people to play with.
Email. Also, if you'd like the gamer tag,
The gamer tag.
also send emails on that. I'm not the best Destiny player,
Don't be a rapist.
but I'm not the worst. And if you have anything crappy to say, I will completely correct you on your grammar if you talk
He will
really,
do his
really bad.
bestest. He will do his absolute bestest to correct
My
you on your
bestest?
grammar.
I will do my bestest to be correct on the grammar. Don't be a jerk. It's a game.
Yeah,
Have fun.
Jokes. Jerks are no fun.
Jokes are fun,
Jokes are fun.
but jerks
are
aren't.
not. Nobody likes a jerk unless they tell jokes.
So, still on the topic of Destiny, that will
Still
be
on the
my
topic
first
of Destiny.
review. And I think our only review today. Destiny.
I don't finish games.
Destiny came out, what, November, October, and November for last-gen consoles. Came out in October, and for current gen, I am done saying next gen. I'm now saying current gen. They've been out over a year. Came out in November. I've been playing it since then, on and off, and the reason for that is the story. The story, for me, isn't much of a story at all. You're somebody who's been dead roughly, it seems like you've been dead for like 500 plus years or something like that. A ghost comes and reanimates your body.
See, I didn't know that's how it happened.
And it's a post-apocalyptic
I thought
world.
you were just like a rebel dude.
You're kind of
Now I
that
might
way, and I
actually go
think
play
that that's the way it might go if they make a second one.
Now
If they might
actually have to play
make a
it.
second one. He reanimates you, you make it through the first little mission that you can't go back to. This is the only mission in the game that I've seen you cannot go back to. So, hopefully there's nothing there, Bungie, that you left us. Because if there was, missed it, and now I can't go back. And I'll be sad.
Well, you could start over.
The story is about you trying to save, I guess, humanity.
I didn't know it was a story.
It's a post-apocalyptic era.
You
go
told me in
from-
the last episode that there wasn't a story.
Earth to the Moon to Venus and Mars, with a little section in there called the Reef, which you only see twice in the whole game for 2 cutscenes, and you cannot go back to that area to play any missions. There's no missions there. Yet the area is still on your map. So you can click on it, but then there's a blank purple screen that says the Reef. There are total, I'd say, 6 to 8 hours of gameplay, depending on how fast you go, how fast you level up.
If you're like me and him, we have to talk to every NPC there. We have to explore everything.
That only
not
really
really
happens
there?
in the tower. The tower is the main central hub for everything. You buy all your weapons there, the ones you don't find. And honestly, there's no reason to have a weapons person in the tower unless you've reached certain ranks within the Vanguard or the other groups. Because the main weapons guy, those weapons are obsolete after like level 10, I feel like.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, you're a little bit turning me off from playing this game.
Stick with me. Actually, that's fine if you don't, because
Nobody's gonna.
the story falls. It doesn't catch my attention as much as other games out there. Even other games that Bungie themselves have made. Even back to Marathon that Bungie made, which was really, really old now, and I don't know. That demon seemed like it was a big puzzle game, so for me,
Giant puzzle game.
and that wasn't bad. Multiplayer is pretty good on it, though. I'll say. There's Control and Clash, as well as they just released Rumble, a 2v2 multiplayer, as well as every month we get the Iron Banner, which is a ranking system. So that's nice. I had somebody recently call me out on the Iron Banner because I was only like level 25, because after level 20 you get these stupid light levels that you have to find armor for to get these pieces of light. So I was level 25 and everybody else was probably around level 32. Yeah, everyone else was 31, 32. 32 is now is currently the cap until maybe in the next DLC. I got called out by somebody saying that Iron Banner was not for any level 25s, even though I wasn't not the bottom of our team that won. so our team wins. He still calls me out, and then.
Did you at least do okay?
Oh yeah, no, I did okay. Yeah. So a lot of people take the whole ranking system
way too seriously.
Way too serious in the game. And it's not even, it's still,
Call of Duty.
Yeah, it still doesn't seem like a ranking system to me, as much of you gain ranks in the Iron Banner, but it's not ranking you up. Like, I've yet to see a leaderboard, a top 10,000 people that are playing the game or anything like that. So, multiplayer is still really good. It lets you go through missions with 3 other people, or up to 6 other people. Or 6 people total. And then strikes with 3 people, and there's also raids, which I have yet to do. I'll probably talk about that in another cast. Because I play way too much Destiny. After the story is when I feel the game actually starts. The storyline, you don't even need help with the beats. You can do it all if you level up right. The final boss, I took him on myself, and it wasn't much of anything.
It's disappointing.
So it does kind of start off where you're always going to be in an area where enemies are the same level as you, and even if you're level 15 or 20 in a 15 area, those 15s can still take you out.
Oh boy.
So the weapons are are still, it's realistic enough there.
Realistic.
I want to say enough, because it's unlike Halo, they don't drop weapons all the time. So, like, you'll run up, you'll kill somebody, and then, in Halo, they drop a weapon. In Destiny, they don't do that. They might drop ammo for a weapon you currently have. There's 3 classes of weapons. The primary, secondary, and heavy. You get armor, chest pieces, legs, arms, and helmet, as well as a cool fancy cape.
So what are you rating this game? 5, because you don't like 10s.
I don't like 10 scales, because a lot of 10 scales also still put in, like, halves. Or, in certain places,
so should we
points.
Do a 20 scale?
So, let's not do that. Or even the stupid ones that have, like, 100 scales.
like Metacritic?
I wasn't going to call them out.
Oh. Oops.
I also wasn't
I'll
gonna
put a
call out.
bleep over
I
that.
also wasn't gonna call out Game Informer on their
I'll put
their
a bleep over that.
9.6 that they give games. I'm giving it a 4.
A 4.
4. Because the story does kind of fall apart. Doesn't always hold your attention. I feel like they can fix it by making a
There's still time.
DLC that adds on to the story or connects things. But it's sitting with me at a 4.
4's not bad though.
4 isn't bad. 4
is
is
actually really good.
4 isn't bad
it's
on
only
my.
a 5. There's only 5 options.
Yeah.
Unless you get 0.
Well, no, you can
You could go
definitely
to
get a
0.
0. There's games like Superman 64 that get 0s. Or just to not be that much of a jerk, I could give them like a half.
Half a point.
You get half a point.
You put your name on it.
This is definitely a 4-star game, I'd say.
Okay. So it's worth all the hype?
It's worth it, yeah.
Okay.
In the end, it's worth it. I do recommend playing it. There is absolutely, unless you make another class character, which is 3 classes: Warlock, Titan, and Hunter. Unless you create another character, you can't go back and replay that first area, that first little section. But there is, I guess, replayability. Because you can go back to missions. You can still go back to missions, old missions, and play through them. So there is replayability, but it's not a huge replayability that you need to do.
Good times. Looks like a game I'll have to look into.
Yes.
Alright, so next segment we call new releases. And it's
Releases.
very self-explanatory. We're
Is
going
it?
to talk about new releases
What are
that
new
release
releases?
next week. Games that are coming out in North America. Because it's
Not
new to
EU?
me. 'Cause it's
Not
new to me.
JP?
It's new to me.
Because it's new to you.
Alright, yeah. Let's Cam start with his game called Scream Ride. That comes out
Ride.
Tuesday, March 3rd, for the Xbox One and 360. It is a Microsoft exclusive.
It is Microsoft exclusive. On the One and 360, like you said, Scream Ride is pretty much, from the looks of it, the videos and reading up on all of it, it looks like it is Roller Coaster Tycoon. With a little injection of steroids. Just a little bit.
Roller coasters on steroids!
I've seen so far you build and create your own roller coaster, amusement park.
So do you get to make an entire amusement park, or do you just get roller coasters?
They've only really shown the roller coaster part of it. You can even ride your own roller coasters, which I can't remember doing in Roller Coaster Tycoon.
You could. I don't remember doing it.
You can, I guess, although it is a single player, let us know if we're wrong on that. With the riding of the roller
Actually,
coaster
let us know
Tycoon.
who's right, which one is right. Because we're going both ways here.
You can download, even though it's a single player game, you can download other roller coasters that people across the world have uploaded and made, and then you can race to see who can be the fastest at this game, or at that coaster, which would mean that
You can control your speeds.
it would have to mean you can control your speeds, or you'd have to be careful going around a curve, or so you don't go off the roller coaster, or when you're doing one of those loops, you don't want to punt somebody's head off.
Well,
I mean, that's
you
happened in
might.
real life. Is that too soon to talk about somebody's head getting pumped off at an amusement park?
What?
Anyways, the price is $40. For $40, I might wait a little bit just to see how it's turning out to be. If it's a huge number of people that are playing this, uploading their coasters, so that it actually becomes it's a creation simulator, basically. So
It's like a sandbox.
yeah, you build it all, and then in the end you can even demolish any of these.
I love demolishing things.
Just annihilate
See,
those
for me,
roller coasters.
that's my favorite part of games, is breaking it all.
Well, I
Like
mean,
when
that's
I built a giant penis in Minecraft and then filled it with TNT.
that's the
That's what I do for fun.
That's what I did in Mall Tycoon when aliens took over my mall. Because you can't get rid of them.
Happens, huh?
You can't get rid of them. It turns all your people into aliens. And then you just blow it up. So...
Next in line, we have a game called
Yeah.
Talomere. Actually, we might want to mention the price for Screen Ride.
Yeah,
It's going to be $40.
$40 for
It's
Scream
going to
Ride.
be $40.
And it's developed by... Who does that say there?
Crumples. Frontier.
Frontier Developments and Microsoft Studios. So it should seem, hopefully, it looks alright. Hopefully it's going to be okay. I'll let you guys know if I get it, how the game actually plays out.
Alright, moving on, we have this game called Talomere. It also comes out on the 3rd for the PC. It is a 2D pixelated dungeon or a platformer in the dungeon crawler platformer, and it's procedurally generated, so it's always going to be different. That's right?
So each dungeon you go into is going to be different. They're not
layout,
always set up
enemies.
for dungeon 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And it's all about trying to show off for this princess/queen person. Like, you're the hero and you have to prove your worth. It's a single player or a local co-op with no listed price.
So somebody hasn't stole the princess. She's not hiding in another castle.
No, she's not.
And
It's not Mario.
I'm not going to run into a little mushroom guy that at the end of the first mission that says... But he's probably going to try to kill me.
Yeah.
Or just make me really, really happy. Like I'm floating.
Happen.
So...
Don't do drugs.
So... do you need anything special for this? I mean, is this...
You don't really need anything special. It says you need a pretty decent processor, but I doubt it. I mean, maybe for the randomly generated stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need a whole lot of RAM or hard drive space. You only need 200 megabytes on your hard drive. So
sounds good.
Looks pretty easy.
No price yet on this?
Price,
is this
as far as I know. I believe it's an early
access game there. All right. Sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting
enough.
But there are so many 2D platformers that...
Well, the world's filled with 2D platformers.
Well, yeah, but I think that's kind of part of the problem.
I mean, one day we're going to go off screen as a 2D platformer.
Okay.
Next, I'd like to talk about this game that I saw before he actually told me about it. Was White Knight.
Not Light.
Not Light, no. I thought at first, too, that it was White Light, and it's White Knight. It's a game coming out on March 3rd for the Xbox One, the PS4, and PC, Mac. Also, I believe, Unix.
Comes out on Unix. So it better be good, because it's the only game that they're going to be able to play. For
at least a year.
Yeah.
Unless they're still playing Solitaire. So
who doesn't still play Solitaire?
It's got a me. I don't play Solitaire. It's got a noir feel, black and white. It's all black and white. Actually, the look of it seems like
is it a noir feel, or is it just like black and white contrast?
It's
like animated style.
That's the animation of it, but I mean, it still has that like
old timey feel.
Yeah, because you're the pictures from in the videos, you're a guy that's wearing like a white trench coat or black, and depending on what area you're in and what color your person happens to be, as well as the surrounding environment. But it's always going to be black, white, gray.
So what do you do in the game?
You try to solve puzzles in a mansion. There's ghosts and spirits and specters and all those fun stuff.
Game.
It's a puzzle horror
survival
game. I've yet to see the real survival area. I've heard that you shine your light upon these specters and they kind of go away, or they, something happens there. It's made by
Activision,
Awesome Studios, and Activision.
Okay, just Studio.
It's an action-adventure game, according to everything, as well as it has, from what I've seen from it, the horror feel is more of a set camera, like Resident Evil, and
oh boy,
but not. it doesn't seem annoying like Resident Evil's camera, where you'd be walking forward,
and then the camera
and then the
changes,
camera
and
changes, and all of a sudden you're walking
back to
backwards.
where you were,
So,
and
so
it's just like an endless loop of constant frustration.
it looks like a game that I will definitely be picking up next Tuesday for on the day it comes out.
Ooh, the day
it comes out, maybe even the next day, but still I'll be picking it up to play it. 'Cause it looks very fun. It is a single player game. I don't have a price. I'd say the price is normally going to be like $15 for those arcade, because it is an arcade game. It's not coming out on disc. Normally the ones that release in mainstream stores and areas, they're the $60 games. But if it's releasing console by itself through download, which it is releasing through download, it's probably going to be around $15, $20 for that game.
So let's talk about Tormentum, Dark Sorrow. It's a game that comes out March 4th. It's a point-and-click adventure.
Point and click.
Point and click.
Point and click.
Just throw an image up on the screen, you spam the mouse button.
So it's stills?
Yep.
You don't see anybody moving
pretty sure
around.
they're stills. Some animations might happen if you click the right things. But as far as I know, it's just stills.
Just stills. See, I played a game like that. The Walking Dead was kind of like that.
Yeah, it's as
those
far as I
Telltale
know,
games were like that. You move around the environment, but there's not anything else really going on around you, except for some certain cutscenes in those games where you have to hit a button real fast, or you have to move a thing.
As far as I know, like what you click bases the story, so it has multiple endings, which could make it fun, but at the same time, it's still just clicking a screen. So,
it sounds like an interesting game.
It sounds like it could have an interesting story.
Is there a price set for this game?
No, there's not. As far as I know, it is one of those early release games on Steam.
So it's a PC game.
It is a PC game, but you pretty much just need a computer to be able to play it. That's about it.
I Spy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I Spy the video game.
I had that.
I did too.
It was awesome.
It was great.
Until you beat it once.
But I Spy Spooky Mansion, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only one they made into that.
I also had the book for Spooky Mansion. We had all the I Spy books.
Yeah.
Those were great. Good times. Alright, moving on. We have
this one. I love this game.
Called Bloodlust Shadowhunter.
Bloodlust.
Let's talk about Bloodlust Shadowhunter.
The lusty part about Bloodlust Shadowhunter is you're a girl. You're a female vampire the whole time.
Are you?
Pretty sure.
It didn't look like
Pretty sure you are the female vampire.
Yeah, I suppose the one in the intro.
That's it. There, other than the unnecessary cuts in the shirts that I saw, it's like, why did we put that? I guess just for the sex appeal, right?
Yeah, the people have bright red eyes. They live underground, so you would naturally assume they can see underground.
No, you have a flashlight. You have a flashlight. You have a weapon that seems to be a knife or a dagger.
It looks kind of like a machete.
And then the whole game, it's not like, oh, danger's around, I'm going to go into my action stance. No, the whole game you're in your action stance. You're that guy that's just, the whole time.
There's always danger.
There could always be danger, seeing as somebody turns around a corner and there's a vampire gorilla standing in front of them. Again, this is one of those early releases, I believe.
There's an early release, but I do feel
price.
I really hope some things change. First of all, like really, you could have done so much more with the night vision.
Yeah. The developer, I don't know who's developing this game, and I don't know how big of a game. How the budget-wise, are big games. The graphics look amazing. This game, graphics look like I'm playing an early-ish 2000 game still.
2004.
So, but the concept was kind of new. Like I've never played a whole underground dungeon.
Yeah, I haven't. I've never played a game
where I am a vampire.
In a clan of vampires fighting for dominance against other clans.
Yeah. So I like the concept.
These vampires can take control of animals, and there's gorillas.
Which makes sense to the whole orb thing. There's an orb of light that it seems like you become this orb of light. You go through certain tunnels or passages that are too narrow for your character to flip switches. or hit buttons.
Or maybe even possess gorillas.
Maybe that's what that was. Maybe so that was possessed.
Gorilla possession.
So it doesn't look like the worst game in the world, but it definitely, from what I've seen, there's tons of room for improvement.
And as with any game,
we can
when
hope
it's an early access, it's going to have its faults, and
that
hopefully they'll
fix it.
address them and change.
Now, have you ever wanted to create a video game?
I have thought about it a couple times.
They didn't let me in those classes.
No, they didn't let me in those classes either.
I wasn't that great of a student in high school, so that's why I'm doing podcasts right now.
It's not a podcast. It's also going on YouTube. It's not a podcast.
A video stream.
It's an episode.
Anyways,
there's this magical game called Game Guru. Well, it's not really a game. It's a program.
Game for building games.
It's a game for building games. It's called Game Guru. Comes out Monday, and it looks amazing. Like, you think when you make a game that doesn't require any knowledge of coding, you maybe get like a first-person shooter. Right?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm making a game with absolutely nothing, I'm putting a gun in somebody's hand who I probably don't even have the right skills to put pants on him.
Yeah.
So he's probably running around naked with a gun because the gun wasn't an item that I could just equip to him.
And the gun is just like attached to his chest and he's ghosting around the map.
Exactly. So I think of a first-person.
No, you can make FPSs, you can make RPGs, you can make horror games, you can make anything. Well, as far as I know, you can make anything that comes to mind with this program that's coming out on Monday. And there's not much else that needs to be said. This is for the person who's interested in making games but has no idea where to start.
So now we've seen things like this before, right? So we have Project Spark for the Xbox One. Way back when we had games where you could, in Excite Bike, where you could make your own tracks, for those games. Or even in Halo, where you could make a whole world for maps and different game types. This seems like almost kind of like Project Spark, where they've taken a lot of that stuff and thrown it into one game.
Together. But there's also the potential for these developers to make profit off of their games.
So you could actually create your own video game through this, and then distribute it.
I'm not
through
sure
another
if you
thing
can own all the rights to it and distribute it freely. I'm not sure if you have to stream it through Game Guru. But either way, if this starts to catch on, there's a huge potential for people to make some easy games.
Now this is still in a testing. I'm assuming it's still in a testing phase.
It is an early access that comes out Monday.
So, I'm going to go ahead and say within the next couple months, month or so.
There's going to be tons of indie games out.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll look at some of those because indie games are definitely a thing.
Indie games are my thing.
How about you? We'll make a game. I'll get the Project Spark and the Kinect,
and we will both make
games. I'll try to make a game with my hands. Shaping land and throwing trees at goblins. It was part of the trailer. And we'll see which one kind of works out better. I feel like
I might have the upper hand.
You might have the upper hand with the mouse and being able to create more, but we'll compare them, see what's going on there. Also, if you have played the Kinect version of this, which is Project Spark, let me know what creations you have. Show us.
Yeah, you could share them in the comments below. Shoot us a quick email. You could hit us up on Twitter, which we are on.
We're on Twitter?
We are on Twitter.
We're on the Twitter.
We're on the Twits.
We got the tweets.
We're on the Twits.
With the tweets.
Yeah, we're a couple of twits on the Twits. Yeah, but anyways, you can make single-player games. You can make multiplayer games. There's no listed price so far. The only downside is this does demand quite a bit more for system requirements. They recommend an i5 Intel processor or an FX 8150 if you decide to go with AMD, which is what I personally like to do.
I have no clue what you put in my computer.
You have an Intel.
Okay, well there you go.
So that's what I had the first time. Anyways, they recommend 4 gigs of RAM, which is pretty basic. It's pretty much as low as you go nowadays.
Yeah. I
I
don't think you can buy a computer with less.
don't buy computers, I build them.
So,
You do need a bit higher end graphics cards, like an R9 280 probably is what I would shoot for, unless you're into GeForce.
right over my head with that.
Unless you're into like the GeForce cards, which I'm not.
It seems to work.
I'm not a whole lot. I'm not up to date on what does what with those.
It seems to work in my computer well. I'm running around Guild Wars.
You can't play.
Fine,
You're
but
not gonna be able to play Skyrim on Ultra.
like that's okay. Skyrim came out like 2011, so
You do need 8 gigs of hard drive space.
8 gigs of hard drive space.
Space.
So it's a pretty decent size game.
Yeah.
But it's not, terribly large. If you have a nice gaming PC.
Oh, it's for me. It's tiny. For me, it's like I don't even notice.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
downloading.
I have 2 terabytes of space.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not gonna notice 8 gigs, and my processor and graphics card are well above what is required. So I'm never gonna notice.
Continuing on creation.
Ooh, more creation.
No, we're not going to go in depth on how the universe was made. Just Greece. So, pre-civilization marble age. For PC through Steam. Set in ancient Greece. Develop your village into powerful civilization.
It's basically what I got when I watched the video. It's basically just telling like the history of Greece.
Yes, from what I saw was that Civilization. It's like Civilization, which is a really good game.
One of my favorite.
But it's more like Civilization Revolution. So I feel like
I remember watching.
Feel like 6-year-olds.
I remember watching my sister play that.
I think I got it as a free download on Xbox.
I think
Games
we
was cool.
actually bought it.
It just looks like 6-year-olds could play this game.
It absolutely does.
Which wouldn't be a bad thing, because
it
they
looks
could
like-
learn about Greece.
Yeah, they could learn about Greece, and they could get into the whole turn-based strategy games.
It does seem like a really
Which
good
are
place for starters.
It's a great
Starters to
place
play this?
if you're not so great at Civilization. And
I'm terrible at that game, so this might be a game that
this
I
is
play.
your game.
It is single player. There is no
It's single player,
multiplayer.
and it doesn't seem like there's a whole ton of replayability
It is
with this.
another one of those early accesses, so hopefully they get some feedback on this game. They add in some stuff.
Well, not only that, but with Steam, there's always a Steam workshop and Steam community where other people can go in and make other civilizations.
Yeah, so this could definitely be a game where in the future we get, Aztec or Rome and
Or Aztecs.
Japan and just
Or Japanese, too.
just anything.
That'd be a
and
really
all
long
of
game.
them
The
things.
history of Japan.
Well, it'd be sections
Sections
of Japan, time
The history of
periods.
Tokyo. Oh, okay. Time periods.
Not a whole lot that I've seen on this game.
Not a whole
out
lot
there.
about this game that makes me want to go get.
Yeah, it feels like one of those games that if you've already got Civilization,
Then you're good.
and you know how to play it, probably not going to get this. If
It's
you want
just-
your kid to play Civilization, maybe this is a game for them
It's
to play.
pre-civilization, so it's for people who aren't quite ready for
Yes,
civilization
yes.
yet. What do we got next, buddy?
A game that comes in threes.
Oh,
Or just comes as 3.
what are you talking about now?
Zombie Army Trilogy.
Zombie
Zombie
Army
Army
Trilogy.
Trilogy.
Are you
Releasing
tired of
on...
zombie games yet?
No, I'm not. Because I love zombies. But it's releasing on Xbox One
And PC,
PC.
and PS4.
and PS4.
So all you current gen
It's not
gamers are going to be able
last
to
gen.
get it.
Last
not
gen, current gen. This is
it's
not
not
next
next
gen. We're talking about next gen. We're already talking about what the next Wii that
720,
Nintendo's already
Xbox
talking about.
9.
No, they just need to blow everybody's mind and call it the 720 this time. Like, everybody's expecting the Xbox 2. No, they're going to actually call it the 720.
Xbox full circle.
Full circle, yeah.
Even though it's already done that.
Yep. So, this
the Zombie Army Trilogy game. Graphics-wise, it looks okay. It looks like it. That's what sold it. That's what made me kind of.
It looks like zombie mode from Call of Duty.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Which a whole game based around zombie mode from Call of Duty, probably not the best, but not the worst idea because the rest of Call of Duty isn't that great.
From what I saw in the little video thing that they have on Steam, they also have different kinds of zombies, which is cool.
From the looks of it, it's like the zombies are a civilization in themselves.
Yeah,
they
it's
walk
like their own nation
and talk. And they just happen to be Nazis too. There was a picture of zombie Hitler.
Yeah, we get to see zombie Hitler, and I think at the end of the game we get to snipe him.
I feel like that would be a great thing. Also, I feel like Can I Be a Zombie Myself would be an amazing thing, but I feel like
you're a Nazi zombie.
I don't want to be a Nazi zombie. I just want to be like a U.S.
United
States zombie in the middle of World War II.
Are you sure it's World War II? Because there are zombies. Could be any time.
That's true. Maybe everybody just came back to life.
Yeah, that's what zombies do.
I thought Hitler got shot in the face, though.
Hitler took a cyanide pill.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, well then. I know
I
history.
really hope I'm not wrong.
I so know history. If we're wrong, we'll know.
We'll know if we're wrong.
By Sunday. $40 for this game, right?
$44.99.
$45 for this game.
But you also get 1 and 2 remastered.
And when we're on 1 and 2 release?
2013.
So we're getting remastered. So it's more of a not remastered. It's more
from 2 years ago.
Can we just call it definitive editions this time?
Can we just call it an excuse to charge people $45?
I will be happy if there's a third in this, but from what I see, it just seems like 1 and 2. I haven't played those games, so if you guys have played those games,
and we're insulting you right now,
I'm sorry. But at the same time, let us know what those original 2 games were about. Because if it was fun, then maybe we'll play them. I do have a Steam as well, so
he does.
I could play on there. Since my Xbox is full, Microsoft, thank you for 500 gigs of me having to download everything. So right now I'm kind of not playing so much the console.
He's not playing so much of anything right now.
I'm playing Pokemon on my DS, but it doesn't look like a terrible game. It looks like a game that... It doesn't look
terrible. It just looks like one of those cookie-cutter games.
Yeah, hopefully the game will be on Steam's spring sale or something.
Something where you could snag it for like $20.
Which we will talk about those games when the sale gets closer. What games are on that sale, so you guys can know.
Even though you probably just...
Even though you already know.
You'll get it right when you open Steam, just like I always do.
Well, yeah.
And
or Steam opens itself.
Close.
That's what's coming out this week. Next week we have a bunch of games, as well as the rest of this month. We have games.
Tons of games to beat that we're gonna want to cover. It's gonna be great.
We will cover, as well as I'm pretty sure we have PAX.
We do have PAX East coming up in about a week.
And that's another thing we'll cover over the time period of this show. The time period of forever.
I'm pretty sure it'll be on next week.
Cover
PAX East, which is going to be there.
Because, especially with this year, Bethesda announced they're going to do a E3 conference, which is new for Bethesda.
Which means we get a new Bethesda
We could really hope we're going to see Fallout 4 and Elder Scrolls, what should technically be called 7, but is really going to be called 6.
Elder Scrolls 6.
So, hopefully we'll see something like that. That's, of course, not till June.
But something cool will happen. Hopefully, either Fallout 4 or Elder Scrolls 6, like you said. But I'm pretty much doubtful on Fallout 4.
Yeah, I think that Fallout... Actually, honestly, I think Fallout 4 is going to be is more likely right now than another Skyrim or Elder Scrolls game. So, in the world of indie games, We have bets.
We have bets.
We have bets.
No, I'm not sure it's an indie game.
It might be. I have no clue.
So there's a game called Geometry Dash that I picked up the other day. And
Right.
it's a lot of fun, but it's really hard. Like crazy hard. So what I thought we could do is we could bet the price of this game.
Okay.
I bet that I could get farther on the first 5 levels in 50 attempts.
In 50 attempts, first 5 levels, that's 50 attempts per level. The bet is
The price,
price of the game.
Which I think is
so
$4.
Hopefully the price of the game is still $4. Otherwise, this bet's gonna get weird. The bet is on, and by next week we'll
Just
know
give me the
who.
$4.
Exactly. I have never even. And next week there will be a new bet,
There will be a new bet
And there
every
will be a
single
winner.
week.
as
And
well as
he's
there
gonna
will
end up broke.
also be indie games.
There'll be a
Spotlight
ton of indie
of the
games.
week. Like this week we have I Saw Her Standing There.
It is a 2D platformer, because I just knocked him earlier, and now this is my indie game of
That's
the
all
week.
you play anyways recently.
What, platformers?
Yeah,
Or
2D.
indie games?
2D.
I play a ton
Both.
of indie games.
All of the above.
I
played
I
Coma. That
3D
was my
games.
only one
I
that
played
wasn't.
3D games like Dying Light and Shadow of Mordor and Gmod and Goat Simulator.
So, I Saw Her Standing There. This game about zombies.
This is a game about zombies, guns, dealing with your girlfriend on that time of the life when she's a zombie.
Marriage, kids, babies.
Nope, none of that.
No, okay.
None of that
Okay.
yet. Maybe in the sequel.
That's scary.
Maybe in the sequel. I'll look into
Scary.
it.
That'd be weird. Zombie babies.
It's also about jumping on
Maybe.
platforms and not falling off of them. Otherwise you'll die. And there might even be some pancakes. You might be able to fly. You never know. It could be there.
Definitely,
Might not be.
I saw him playing the game earlier today, and I definitely, it's free. Go and play it.
It's totally free. You can get it on GameJolt. We'll throw the description in the link below, or the link
in the
to
description.
the link to the game in the description below, so you can go check it out yourself.
Gaming news. Something
news.
sad happened today.
Something very sad happened.
This is Tuesday, by the way, so this happened on Tuesday.
Something very sad happened. The game that I have been anticipating for a very
Grand
long
Theft PC
time has been delayed once again until April 14th.
It just seems at this point in time that
And at
it's
this point,
never gonna
after
come out.
pre-ordering it, I demand a discount with a refund.
A hug?
What do you
Will
think?
that work?
No, I want a discount.
I'll give you a hug.
I pre-ordered it so I could get it on March 24th with $1 million extra in game. And now I have to wait even longer. Like another month.
I feel like, this is a common thing now in the gaming industry.
I feel like everyone they're just so comfortable that they think they can get away with it now.
other than the games that are for sure set every, fall to come out, I feel like games get pushed back. The early year games always seem to get pushed back. Evolve was pushed back a little bit. Not much.
I feel like these developers are just setting unrealistic goals. And then they get the hype up, and then they realize they can't finish it, so they're like, oh, what's the harm in delaying it? And we're back.
The delays on games. I mean, another game that hit news recently was Batman Arkham Knight that got an M rating.
An M rating.
M rating.
From ESRB.
From
When the other ones have been rated T.
a game made by Warner Brothers, which doesn't like to hurt people's feelings, except with Injustice, where Batman kills Shazam.
Well, see, the article I read says the director of the game isn't going to change anything. But he also said that it didn't get its M rating for any gratuitous blood or swearing.
So
it's either
something
going to be
has
very,
to
very
be very
dark,
dark that had happened here.
or there's a boob.
Exactly. I've never seen a WB game that's gone over. I mean, even WB made a game with Mortal Kombat involved with Mortal Kombat DCU which wasn't the greatest game because you couldn't do anything like that, like because it wasn't the Mortal Kombat way. Injustice was better because it didn't have Mortal Kombat characters in it except for Scorpion as a DLC character. But the M rating on Batman Arkham Knight, which is also another game that got pushed back twice now to now, I believe, June.
I think the industry is just getting way too comfortable with pushing things back.
This just showed with the Assassin's Creed double feature we got this year, and Unity just being a game that was not finished.
And I think what happened with Dying Light, was they should have pushed it back a few months, but there was so much pressure to get it out that they just threw it out, and it was a mess of things wrong with the one on PC.
Definitely seems like there's a lot of games, a lot of the major games coming out also on console have been made so much for the consoles rather than the PC, so when they all release on the same day, there's a really good game on consoles, and then the PC, you might as well still wait those next months. That's probably what has happened with Grand Theft Auto yet again.
Only it's not a few months.
It's now over a year for Grand Theft Auto. But
GTA 6 has been announced, and I still haven't played 5.
That's all I have for gaming news this week.
That's all I got.
I
haven't really looked into it. Those are the two big
stuff about Sony not going to be focusing on phones. Oh yeah, that's right.
Sony focusing on consoles.
Consoles a lot more than anything else, which kind of shows
their console the best it can be.
Which
is awesome, but at the same time,
the console's not bad. I don't play a lot of Sony console.
It's going to go both ways because you're always going to have the diehard Xbox kids and the diehard PlayStation kids. Yeah. We're different. We started with PlayStations, and
I no longer own one. But I will be having a 4 hopefully by the summer, so I can play Silent Hills.
Yeah, that's
certain games like that.
I'm kind of excited for that.
But it just seems that I think they're doing the right thing. But this is also weird because this came after they just also Sony released the rights in the movie industry to Spider-Man to go back to Marvel. So are they just going away from the whole that side of the entertainment? They're going to focus more on let's get our consoles selling. Let's do this.
We know
the consoles are selling. That's the thing.
We already know that Sony struggles with being in all the industries that they are.
You can't overdo it.
Just because they have to charge so much with how many industries they're in. All of their products cost more than they should, which means less people are going to buy, unfortunately.
This is true.
So maybe pulling out of a few industries is smart for Sony at this point.
I definitely see them coming back in to maybe continue with working on PCs. I think the phone thing just needs to end. They just need to not make another phone. They tried making a gaming phone at one point in time, and it was terrible.
I don't think anyone's going to be making any more new phones.
TVs, I don't know why that's the one they're pulling out of at the same time. Maybe they can't compete with Samsung and Vizios or whatever.
I think it's just that they're so damn expensive.
There's a lot there. Everybody has a TV now.
They're still charging $1,200 to $1,400 for a flat screen.
Yeah, it's something that I guess we'll look at in the next couple months to see what really happens. And I'll maybe talk about next week, try and find some good stuff about it, as well as other gaming news.
Right, and that's our show. Thank you for watching. If you liked the show, if you liked the material we threw in the show, if you like either of us,
if you like the mustache,
or the shirts, I have.
You're Gandalf.
Keep on Tolkien.
Gandalf. Keep on Tolkien.
Yep, and he's got a lovable face eater. Facehugger, my bad.
Also, Nerdwall.
Our Nerdwall of fame.
Anything that you suggest we throw up there, you can
let us know in the comments or on the page.
I'm not going to post any addresses to put anything because those things are expensive, and I also don't want you to know where I live. So,
but anyways, thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll hit you up next week in a brand new episode of That One Gaming Show. Bye.
Later.
Alright.
We doing intro first?
Ready? Break. Ready, and break!
That was lame. So anyways...